Coming in at number 7 on the best Indian alternative albums of 2017 is a band called Baked. Title of the album is Farnham. If I'm not mistaken, they're based out of Brooklyn, and actually one of the members of the band, once again, if I'm not mistaken, is also in a band called Bueno, which was on my best of list last year. So that's pretty cool. I would classify Baked as a amalgamation of different genres, a lot of them in the 90s. They have really detuned sounding guitars, the point of which seems to be to like wash over you like a tidal wave or something. If what I'm describing sounds like shoegaze, then that's what I'm getting at here. Baked certainly bake shoegaze into their music really, really heavily. They also toy with Americana in a way that's playful and unexpected in the context of their album, but also ends up like sinking into their formula and, melding in with everything else they're doing, like shoegaze and hard rock and stuff like that, really, really well. I thought the playful affinity they have for more traditional, like country Americana stuff actually fit really, really well into the context of their album and their tracks. I would say the combination of everything that I just described, to me at least, sounds like grunge music being modernized. The personality of bands like Nirvana and Mudhoney and Soundgarden, take that, put it in a time machine, fast forward 30 years, and modernize it all with everything that's happened over the past 30 years. And I think that's more or less what you have with the Baked formula. Despite the fact that the goal of Baked is to be really heavy and to rivet you, and I think through some of the more extended passages of their music to just seem really, really huge and in your face, there's a certain softness to their music. It all feels very immersive and like something that you want to get lost in, not something that's fighting you when you listen to it. And kind of going along with that, Baked know that the whole album can't be one big wash of overdriven guitars, or at the very least that's something that's very, very difficult to do and not, turn people off. And for every 2 or 3 songs that are a wash of really mountainous guitars, I think they have a song on the album that's about mountains or something like that. So maybe that's why I'm saying mountains. But they put in some soft tracks with a lot of times with their female vocalist. And the chords that they employ on the softer tracks are very jazzy. They use a lot of chorusing effects and stuff like that. So it doesn't like stop and give you whiplash when they go to these softer songs. It fits into the airy feel of the album very, very nicely. But at the same time, it gives a lot of respite after you've gone through, a really heavy wash of guitars on the previous track. And it really showcases just how versatile they are at employing different genres of music inside their songs. In conclusion, Farnham is the sort of album that should be really taxing to listen to. It should take you, 5 or 6 settings to listen to it, because it is a very take no hostages heavy album, which is certainly something I'm into. But it usually takes a couple settings to, just because after 2 or 3 songs, it usually fries your nerve endings. But Farnham has a certain softness and immersive quality to it that makes it very, very easy and even pleasant and relaxing to listen to. I feel like when I say that they employ the female vocalist to provide some softness and kind of an eye in the hurricane, when I say that they use her to do that, it's kind of clichéing the role of female vocals in music. But the function that her vocals serve on the album is a lot more complex than that. Like, when she is singing a track, the band, as any smart, experienced band would, they have to alter their dynamics a little bit to go with her different vocal style. The guy who sings is really growly and kind of atonal, and the guitars are really drony and loud, and just a wash of noise to go along with that, which once again turns out to be surprisingly pleasing to the ears. But the rhythm gets a lot funkier. The dynamics get a lot cleaner when the chick is singing in the band, and the band slides into that very, very easily and doesn't lose their message in the process. It's still very, very heady and immersive music, even though, you know, all the haze has just been blown away, and all of a sudden they're more groove oriented when the chick is singing than just big and heavy sounding when the guy is singing. So yeah, do yourself a favor and listen to some Baked. At a, you know, big picture, this is big heavy music, but when you start to, you know, zoom in with the microscope and see the molecules that their music is made out of, it's sometimes very surprising what you can find. Shoegaze, jazz, post-punk, and then I guess modern indie sound are all mixed in there, and the sum of it is some sort of weird futuristic stoner rocky grunge thing that just looms on the horizon like Godzilla. So really liked the new Baked album this year. And coming up next on the best albums, oh shit, I'm keeping this take. This was a good take. Naomi Punk, one of the best bands that I've ever seen live, and they had their magnum opus this year, so we're going to talk about that next. So check out that video.